So here we are in February, the month of love and romance. And since we just recently had Valentine's Day, I thought I would feature a rare poem that has to do with love and romance. Hi, my name is K.A. Bloch, and I am the award winning poet and author of 4 books that consist of poetry and prose. My channel here is called The Practical Poet, and I also have a blog of the same name at thepracticalpoet.com. And each week on my channel, I do a video poetry reading featuring one of the poems from one of my 4 books. And I also post the full-length poem on my blog along with the backstory. And the poem that I'm talking about this week has to do with love and romance. It's a poem that I wrote when I was very, very young. And I mentioned at the beginning that it's a rare love poem for me. I don't write too much about love and romance. For some reason, it's just not a topic that comes easily to me. I don't have anything against it. It's just not something that comes easily. And there's plenty of other people that do write about love and romance based on the number of rom-coms that are out there and the number of songs that are out there. It's just maybe something that just doesn't come easily for me. But this poem is one that I wrote when I was very young, and I was probably in my teens when I wrote this poem. It's a poem called And As We Grew. And this poem tells the story of that little boy and girl that met, the little boy next door. They met when they were children, and through college and stuff, they kind of separated and then ended up getting back together. And they had that bond with them from childhood through their whole lives. And the poem takes us through all the way, through old age. So it really is that little boy and little girl next door lifetime story. So doesn't that sound wonderful to be able to go your whole life with somebody and imagine that, the bonds that you share and the memories that you'll make. And I suppose it's only good if you really like each other, right? If you don't like each other, then it can make for a really long life. So hopefully not. But and anyway, what I'd like to do for you now is read a couple of verses of the poem And As We Grew. And if you want to read the rest of the story, I'd love for you to head over to my blog. This is a little bit longer one, and this is one of the first ones that kind of what my first foray into longer storytelling through poetry, which is my tagline on my YouTube channel. So this is one of my earlier poems that tells a full story. And I'm going to go ahead and read a few verses for you of the poem And As We Grew. When I was just a little girl with shining eyes of blue, I looked upon the house next door, and somehow I just knew. For in that house there was a boy with dusty eyes of gray, who made my heart dance in my throat when he would glance my way. But little boys don't waste their time on girls and sweet romance. Quite opposite, they'll run from them if given half a chance. But in this boy next door, I sensed a warm sincerity, as if somehow I always knew his path would lead to me. So I hope you'll check out my blog to hear the rest of their story. Now, my blog is at thepracticalpoet.com, and this is And As We Grew. Thanks.